There we go. If you make sure your microphone is on, people can hear you, can you? Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. I was trying to make things perfect, but if I wait any longer, with everything being so slow on my end, I might not go on until another hour or so. So thank you for your patience, everybody. I am here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, between the internet being slow and I was working earlier, so I have like a lot of tabs open that I can't close because I need to go back to them. I've got tons of tabs open and it is slowing things down. So, yeah, if I wait any longer, I won't have time to go on. So, yes, thank you, thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the live. Check myself on my phone, make sure I can be heard. And it is slowing. Okay. So my phone is down by my feet telling me that everything is all right. My computer is froze up, so I don't know what to do, but I'm going to go on as if nothing is the matter. Welcome, y'all. How is everybody doing this fine Saturday evening? There we go. Something happened. It froze up and then it stopped freezing. So I'm assuming you guys can hear me now. Oh my. Oh my. This is every time I have a difficult moment like this, instead of getting frustrated, I think to myself, this is a test of my character. This is a test of how I work well under pressure. How am I going to make it through? I try, anyways, half the times. I'm not always that philosophical, but I'm trying to be that way now. Yeah, I got things freezing up. Okay, I do see people are in the chat, so if I can, I'm going to try to get to them before my screen freezes up again. I'm going between my I'm trying to go between um, my tabs here, and it's like super slow. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your continued patience. I'm gonna make it after all. Look at my phone. No, because sometimes my phone doesn't show me. Will it show me today? Yeah, it does show me. Sometimes the chat won't show up. Have you guys experienced that? Have you ever used your mobile phone to get into a chat and like the chat button that doesn't even exist? But I can see you guys. I can see Destiny Forever Walks. I see The Wiz. I see Killer Whale Channels. I see Edward Smart. So hello, hello. I might have to look at my phone until my laptop stops freezing up, and I'll just walk by faith that you guys can see me and hear me. If you can hear me clearly, oh, I did have a message waiting there. I wrote this like 3 or 4 minutes ago, and I'm just now able to push the tab to send it. If you guys can hear me clearly, if you can see me clearly, if it's not choppy, please, please let me know. And then I'll know I can kind of go on. Because if there's an issue, I'll just restart the live and I'll come back on. But if everything is okay, let me know it's okay. And I'll just keep pushing through. Hey, everybody, we hear you. Good, good, good. Okay. Good to know. Very good to know. Very good to know. Yes, yes. Okay. So everybody, how many of you are readers? Some people don't like reading, but how many of you are readers? I got 8 people, 6 likes. That is awesome. Thank you so much. How many people like to read? How many people are catching up on their reading while we're at home right now and doing this shelter in stuff? I am surrounded by mounds and mounds of books because I had to go into my inventory and pull them all in here. That's part of the reason I was going to go on at 6, but I pushed it back to 6:30 because it took me a lot longer to bring all these books in. So hopefully I will find something to fit your fancy. I do have kids' books, but I kind of did my first 2 lives Yesterday and the day before, I focused on kid stuff, toys and games and books. Now it is adults night. Now, I don't mean like adults. I just mean I'm gonna focus on more like young adult and up but I do have kids books. So if you guys want to know about those kids books, let me know now in the live stream or later on in the chat, and I will bring out the kids books. But right now I've got um nonfiction, language books, couple art books, a couple not how to but like factual reference books, uh, a couple vintage books, like older books. But yeah, you guys let me know. I got a good audio and visual. Okay, you know what? Let me do a quick roll call. I kind of acknowledge you guys, but I want to make sure. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. For anybody who is here for the first time, or maybe you haven't been here in a while, my name is Kenya. This is my channel, 40 Entrepreneur Drive. I normally talk about business and entrepreneurship, mental health and wellness. I try to do some positive and motivational stuff. And since eBay is part of my business, and since many of us are sheltering in right now, either can't go out or you don't want to go out, I wanted to take an opportunity to serve the community by offering them a sneak peek at what I've got or what I will be putting on my eBay store. Some of the stuff that I've been showing is on there. Some of it I will be listing. So if you see something, you can let me know in the chat or in the live stream. I'll put that aside so that I list it first, so you won't be waiting, because I'm telling you, I got a ton of books. I've got a ton of books. But okay, I got, let's see, Destiny Forever Walks, thank you. The Wiz, thank you. Killer Whale Channels, thank you. Edward Smart, thank you. Miss Nicole, thank you. And yes, all right. And I know a couple of people are going to be coming in a little bit later, but I wanted to say hello to you guys first. So, I kind of know where I want to start, but I'm just going to start. Before I start digging in these mini buckets of books, give me an idea of what type of material you guys actually like to read that you might be interested in possibly purchasing either for yourself or somebody who is interested in that genre, and I will start trying to cater to your needs that way. Terry Wade Thompson is in the house. Good evening. Hope you are doing well tonight. Yes, I am doing well, sir. How are you? I have not forgot to make our connection. I need to get a little bit more organized with my schedule. So I hope you're not waiting on me. I don't think you are, but I do want to make a connection with you. But I do welcome you and thank you for coming into the live tonight. I'm going to be showcasing some of the books that I will be listing on my eBay store for all the people who are sheltering in, maybe looking for some reading material, either for themselves or their family. They can't go out or don't want to go out and prefer to shop online. This is my way to serve the community by letting you guys have a sneak peek at my sneak peek at my books. So, wishing everyone an awesome weekend ahead, or a week ahead. Oh, yes, it's already Sunday. Boy, these days are turning one into another. All right, without further ado, unless I start getting some people kind of heading me in a certain direction, I'm going to just start pulling books in no particular order, and hopefully I've got room aside to stack these. Oh my. No particular order, but I'm going to try to keep them somewhat, there goes my lights, somewhat together. My entire inventory, like a third of my inventory is in here. Anyone who is studying French, I do have a French textbook. It is used, definitely used. I used this when I was studying about 10 years ago. It is called Mais Oui, 4th edition. French language study book. If you are into self-study, this is, I think, for like year 1, first year French, introductory, there we go. Introductory French and Francophone culture. Edward Smart says mystery, suspense, and crime. I'm glad you said that because I actually think most of my stuff that's right here next to me is in that category. The Angela vlog. Hi, beautiful Sunday. Welcome, welcome. Are you a big book reader? I hope so. I've got tons of books. Now, mind you, the books that I will be showing are in varying degrees of quality. Some of them are slightly used. Some of the older ones do have a little bit of delicacy to them. Delicacy? That didn't sound right. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. Some of them are quite fragile. So this is probably one of my older books that it is still in reading material, but as you can see, there's a little bit of degradation going on here. This is Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, a novel by Tom Robbins. So something like this I might put on the 99 cents auction just because it is so delicate. We've got some issues going on there with the cover, the spine. Sometimes the spines are a little bit compromised. This one is okay, but this is, let's see, the novel of the year with the cast of the century. And you would definitely have to be careful reading this. Some people are book collectors, so they might not read them, but they would collect them. But since the quality is not grade A, it might not be valuable, but they still might want to collect it. So this is from 1976. Copyright published date 1976 by Houghton Mifflin. The outrageous new bestseller by the author of Another Roadside Attraction. So that is the Cowgirl. Even the Cowgirl Gets the Blues. Sphinx, nationwide bestseller. This is another one of the older ones. I'm just grabbing from what's close to me since somebody said mystery and suspense. Girl, I have a library case in my bedroom. A little wear and tear is good. Yeah, well, I just want to make sure people know. I want to kind of give a disclaimer. Like some of them are pretty hardy, still pretty hardy. But some of the older ones, I will make sure I let you know that you will not be able to flip through them because they are quite old and were not kept in like a temperature type of area, good temperature, good humidity type of area. This is 1979. This is the Sphinx. It was the magic and mystery of an empire long past that beautiful Erica Barron came to explore. Innocently, she cast her eyes in forbidden places and discovered the clue to a treasure beyond imagination. It was then that terror overtook her, as the most fearful curse of the ancient world and the most savage menace of the modern one threatened to destroy her. One dangerously attractive man offered Erica help. He offered her protection. He offered her love. And in this strange exotic land of seductive evils, where no one could be trusted, desire became, for Erica, the deadliest snare of all. And so that is the synopsis for this one. I guess I would consider that mystery and suspense. All I really need to know, I learned in kindergarten. This is more like chicken soup for the soul type of book. Most of what I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in the sand pile at Sunday school. These are the things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. Be aware of wonder. So this is another older publication. This is from, and I would suggest writing these down because like I said, I've got quite a few. This is 1986 publication. All I really needed to know I learned in kindergarten. Is that the author of The Coma? The author is Robin Cook. Thank you for reminding me. I do need to say that. The Sphinx, Robin Cook. Robin Cook. Black History, I have a small handful, and I don't think they're in this group, but they can definitely be in the next group. Tom Robbins was the author of Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. Robert Fulghum is the author of All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. It takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to list each item on eBay. So if you do see something, let me know. You can either let me know in the chat, you can let me know by email, and I will list that first because it will take me a while to actually put these up, but these will be going up. This is Edgar Allan Poe Selected Tales. This is an edited edition by Julian Simons. Make sure you guys can see the full. And this publication is 1980. Well, originally 1980, but of course reprinted in 1985. So that is Edgar Allan Poe Selected Tales. Try to show you guys. The spine is not bad on this one. This one has some hardiness to it. And when I say hardy, I mean it's not. Sometimes the pages are a little bit dried out. This is Dan Brown, Angels and Demons. If that sounds familiar, the Tom Hanks starred in 2 of these books. One was Angels and Demons, and the other one was The Da Vinci Code. So this is Dan Brown, Angels and Demons. There is wear and tear on the spine. I don't think I've got to do the synopsis of this one. But I'll try to go through quickly because I've got quite a few books. Like if you guys could see, you'd be like, whoa! World-renowned Harvard symbologist Robert Langdon is summoned to a Swiss research facility to analyze a cryptic symbol seared into the chest of a murdered physicist. What he discovers is unimaginable, a deadly vendetta against the Catholic Church by a centuries-old underground organization, the Illuminati. Desperate to save the Vatican from a powerful time bomb, Langdon joins forces in Rome with the beautiful and mysterious scientist Vittoria Vetra. Together, they embark on a frantic hunt through sealed crypts, dangerous catacombs, deserted cathedrals, and the most secretive vault on Earth, the long-forgotten Illuminati lair. So that one is Dan Brown. I'm trying to make separate piles here. Okay, these are a lot of older books here. A lot of older books. So when I say older, I mean like 60s and 70s. And some of these do have quite a bit of wear and tear. For example, Frank Herbert is the author. The God Emperor of Dune. God Emperor of Dune. This has quite a bit of wear and tear. How can I do this? I might have to grab a piece of paper or something and put behind me so it will focus better. See if that helps out. Some wear and tear on the spine. The pages are somewhat hardy on this one, but there's a little bit of wear on the edges. So Frank Herbert, Dune, if that sounds familiar, there was a series on television. Was it the movies or TV? Made for TV. But there was a movie about Dune as well. With more than 10 million copies sold, Frank Herbert's magnificent Dune books stand among the major achievements of the imagination. The world has waited more than 5 years for this, according to the publication date. The fourth, the greatest and the grandest Dune book of all. Centuries have passed on Dune itself, and the planet is green with life. Leto, the son of Dune's savior, is still alive but far from human, and the fate of all humanity hangs on his awesome sacrifice. So that is Dune. I've got the Angels and Demons video DVD, good movie. Yes, I like that kind of stuff. I do. I like suspense and thriller. I do like suspense and thriller. This is more going along fantasy and sci-fi. This is Piers Anthony's Guys of the Gargoyle, or maybe it's Gaze, Geis. So this one definitely has some significant tear on the cover. It's somewhat hardy, but a little bit dried out. So I would be careful while reading this one. This is Gaze of the Gargoyle or Guise of the Gargoyle by Piers Anthony. Piers Anthony. Since Xanth began, the gargoyles of that magical place have been under a magical compulsion to protect the purity of the Swan Knee River, which flows into Xanth from dreary Mundania. But recently the pollution from the outside world has grown ever greater, and young Gary Gar, latest in a long line of gargoyle guardians, is finding it ever more difficult to fulfill his responsibilities. So Gary does what any sensible Xanth resident with a dire dilemma would do. He goes to see the good magician Humphrey, who sends him on a peculiar quest to transform himself into a human shape, tutor a precocious child with more than her share of wild magical talents, and find a filter which can restore the river to its previous pristine state. So this is more like fantasy, sci-fi fantasy. This is back. This is a little bit before my time, but it's still kind of my time because this is when like true artists would develop the cover art for books. I don't really see too much of this nowadays. Everything is kind of like CGI or computer design, which isn't a bad thing. That's just my observation. Let's see if I can get some more into that genre there. Because it's all mixed up. It wasn't mixed up on my bookshelf, but by the time I pulled it all out, it got kind of mixed up. Clive Cussler, Atlantis Found. Clive Cussler, Atlantis Found. With every new Pitt adventure, Cussler has come up with a more action-packed scenario, and the latest, Atlantis Found, has enough intrigue to satisfy even the most demanding thrill seekers. This is a #1 New York Times best-selling author. That's the author there on the back. Let me see if there's a synopsis on the inside somewhere. Dirk Pitt is the rarest of individuals without whom the world cannot survive. He is a man of swift decision, action who lives by his honor, forever standing watch on the front lines in the enduring war between good and evil. As the son of a U.S. Senator, graduate of the Air Force Academy, and Special Projects Director for the U.S. National Underwater and Marine Agency, NUMA, his courage and cool under fire are matched only by his forceful nature and ferocious determination to do whatever is necessary. Pitt reports directly to Admiral James Sandecker, the cunning commander of Numa, and is backed up by the tough, streetwise Al Giordino, a childhood friend and partner in undersea adventure for over 20 years. So that's that one. Clive Cussler, Atlantis Found. Edward Smart says Cussler is a good author. And that one is in pretty good condition. Publication date for anyone interested. Publication date is 1999. So I will put that over here. Let me see how I can do this. I'm kind of getting a set of piles there. That looks more like sci-fi. That looks more like sci-fi. That is children's. That's more like New Age. That is children's. That is reference. Children's. That is sci-fi again. These are children's. Oh, it's so mixed up. I think I might just have to go through what I have here to get to. And speaking of Dan Brown, did I just say Angels and Demons? I've got that paper book, and I've got this hardback here too. It doesn't have the dust cover, but I also have this hardback hardback version of Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. No dust cover though. Pretty good condition. Spine in good condition. Cover is in good condition. So that should go over here too. Okay, it looks like I got a bunch of sci-fi and fantasy that I cannot avoid because it's like on top of everything. So I'm just going to go through these. This is Dragon on a Pedestal. This is another Piers Anthony novel. Dragon on a Pedestal by Piers Anthony. There was trouble in Xanth again. All kinds of trouble, in fact. The Gap Dragon had escaped from the Gap and was ravaging across the land. The forget spell that had covered the Gap was breaking up into small forget worlds that wandered about, giving amnesia to all that they touched. Good magician Humphrey might have had the answer, but he had overdosed on water from the fountain of youth and was only a helpless baby. And Ivy, 3-year-old daughter of King Dor and Queen Irene, was lost in the jungles south of the Gap. While Irene sought her without much hope, Ivy was wandering further and further into danger. Her memories erased by a passing forget world, her path was leading her directly to where the Gap Dragon was seeking dinner. It says here this is the first time in print for this particular one. This is a sci-fi one, and it does have a pretty decent spine. Cover is fair. A little bit of wear on the top, a little bit of wear on the back. Otherwise, it is in fair condition. So that is Dragon on a Pedestal. This is Mystery Lillian Jackson Braun. Lillian Jackson Braun. And the title is The Cat Who Robbed a Bank. The Cat Who Robbed a Bank. I actually have quite a few of these. The Cat Who series. The Cat Who Sniffed Glue. The Cat Who Blew the Whistle, which is actually missing a cover, but I can tell by the spine there. The Cat Who Blew the Whistle. I've got quite a few of those. This is Lillian Jackson Braun, first time in paperback. As the Highland Games approach, Jim Quillerin and make sure you guys can see that. Trying to get that glare off. As the Highland Games approach, Jim Quillerin and the citizens of Pickaxe prepare to celebrate their Scottish heritage with such events as bagpipe skirling and tossing the caber. But the traditional revelry is marred by troublesome rumors when a visiting jewelry dealer, renowned for his romantic streak and his mysterious cash-only policy, is found dead in his hotel room. His assistant is missing, and soon the winner of the caber tossing contest disappears as well. Quill has a lot of mysteries to sort out, not the least of which is Coco's sudden interest in photographs, pennies, and paper towels. So that's that one. This goes over here in mystery. I'll go through these other two since they are from the same author. The Cat Who Sniffed the Glue. Oh, let me do the quick publication date on that one, in case anybody's curious. This is published in 2000. This is a 2000 publication. This one is same author. This one is 1988. 1988. So this is The Cat Who Sniffed Glue. The Cat Who Sniffed Glue. Living in the peaceful city of Pickaxe may be restful, but it certainly isn't dull, at least not for one of the most eligible bachelors in town, veteran newspaperman Jim Quillerin. Having inherited millions, Quillerin and his two feline companions, Coco and Yum Yum, are preparing to settle down into a life of perfect luxury. That is, until the son of a rich banker and his wife are found murdered. To the police, it looks like a robbery gone awry. But then Coco develops an odd appetite for glue. Quillerin doesn't spot the clue until his beloved Siamese's taste for paste tangles them in a web of love, danger, and their stickiest case yet. And let's see. Pretty decent. A little bit of wear on the spine. And this one is missing the cover altogether. This is The Cat Who Blew the Whistle, also by Lillian Jackson Braun. Floyd Trevelin's historic steam locomotive, newly restored, is the newest attraction in Moose County. But the excitement is eclipsed by shock when Trevelin disappears along with millions of investors' dollars. Puzzled and suspicious, Quills trying to make a connection between the missing millionaire and a recent murder at a nearby railroad tavern. Now, with the help of Coco and Yum Yum, he's about to prove that police are on the wrong track. So the actual book is pretty decent and hardy. The spine is in decent condition, but the cover is missing. Let's see. Here's another sci-fi one. This one is called The Ill Earth War. The Ill Earth War by Stephen R. Donaldson. Quite a bit of wear to the cover and the spine, and if you cannot tell, it is held together by cellophane tape. Pages are pretty hardy enough to go through, and this publication is 1977. 1977, Stephen R. Donaldson, and full disclosure, this is an ex-library book. Some of these are ex-library books. After scant days in his real world, if you can see that, there we go. After scant days in his real world, Thomas Covenant found himself again summoned to the land. There, 40 bitter years had passed, while Lord Fowl, a mortal enemy of the land, moved to fulfill his prophecy of doom. The Council of Lords found their spells useless, now that Fowl, the despiser, held the Ill-Earth Stone, ancient source of evil power. High Lord Elena turned into desperation to Covenant and the legendary white gold magic of his ring, and nobody knew how to use the white gold, least of all Thomas Covenant. So that is that one. That's another sci-fi one. I'm going to try my best to move around and get some other books so that there's a little bit of variety here to suit everybody's needs. For example, we've got Health the Natural Way. And FYI, for people who don't know, even with these bigger books, it's pretty affordable to send books through the mail because of Media Mail. Media Mail is a specialized postage price for books. So like a lot of the smaller things I would sell on eBay, for example, there is this, I was selling the game boards and toys yesterday. So for example, this small bag of dice, random dice, this would be first class mail because it's less than £1. But even though this is super heavy, this would be media mail. So it would be something like between $2 and $3 to sell, to ship even the biggest book. So just FYI, these will be pushed, I don't know why I keep saying pushed. These will be shipped out media mail if you are interested. This is Health and Beauty, the Natural Way. Health and Beauty, the Natural Way. The author is Neris Perchin. Neris Perchin. Here's the author. This is in really good condition with the cover on the front and the back. Got the dust cover, and the publication date on this one, $1995. 1995, and then of course reprinted in 1997. So natural ingredients such as herbs, flowers, and oils have been used for thousands of years to make safe, effective health and beauty preparations. Now acclaimed herbalist Neris Perchin has collected the best of these recipes into a single, beautifully illustrated volume. Included are more than 200 easy-to-follow recipes for facial moisturizers and tonics, shampoos and conditioners for all hair types, relaxing, invigorating, and soothing bath oils, herbal and floral perfumes, healing lotions for irritated skin, anti-stress remedies, including aromatherapy and massage oils, and many other natural preparations. So that I'll put in a separate pile as far as health I think I can get to the rest of these. I've got. Let me see. I know I heard mystery. I saw mystery. I saw suspense, Black history. I don't have those in these particular piles, but I am going to try to mix it up just a little bit. Ooh. Woo. All right. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. I don't know if there are any cooks or chefs or anyone interested in cooking, but I'm going to try to get through some of these cooking books just because I've got this pile of health health pile over here that I'm starting, and I'm going to put these together so that they will be all in the same area. Not Your Mother's Weekend Cooking. Not Your Mother's Weekend Cooking by Beth Hinsberger. And this is quick and easy, wholesome homemade dinners. I won't go through these. I'll just show the cover. No disrespect to Mom, but award-winning author Beth Hinsberger has gone her one better with this collection of fast, wholesome, tasty weeknight meals that updates the classics and offers dozens of new classics in the making, from chicken pot pie to spicy chicken with cilantro and mushrooms, from horseradish meatloaf, really, to lamb curry with apples and apricots, from scampi to fabulous fish tacos. Not Your Mother's weeknight cooking makes it easy to prepare and enjoy delicious food any night of the week. So that's that one. Oh, I've got a Wolfgang Puck Makes It Easy step-by-step recipe collection for the home cook. Wolfgang Puck Makes It Easy. You don't need a lot of fancy ingredients and advanced preparation to cook like a professional chef. Start with great ingredients and cook them expertly to highlight their quality. That's pretty much all this book says. There might be some more on the inside of the dust cover, but this book is really heavy, so I'm just showing. That's Wolfgang Puck there. I thought I had more. Okay, I do not. I do not. This is going all over the place, meaning in terms of genres. I have 3 copies of the Do It Right Retirement Guide. The Do It Right Retirement Guide. And I'm going to let you know what the publication date is because, of course, as times change, there are different financial and retirement needs. But there may be something still useful in here. This was published in 2002. The author is Michael Dallas. Michael Dallas. Do It Right Retirement Guide, Safety Net Strategies for Your Best Years. This is the definitive financial guide for retirees and soon to be retirees. Get that light off of there, that glare. Okay, I think that's okay. Learn how to make the best decisions regarding your Social Security, Medicare benefits and Medicare supplements, long-term care, pensions, rollovers, required minimum distributions at age 70 and a half, final arrangements. Find out what every retiree should know about mutual funds, variable annuities, fixed annuities, and bonds. Have some information on investors, CD buyers, and teachers. And then there is a special bonus chapter on how to predict depressions. So this may or may not be somewhat dated for today's needs, but if you are interested, I do have 3 copies. 3 copies of Do It Right Retirement Guide by Michael Dallas. So this I would consider reference. I will put this in the reference pile. I don't know if I want to go over these yet. And they're so tight I can't get them out. All right. Got another Clive Cussler here. Clive Cussler's Cyclops, a novel by the author of Dragon. This has wear and tear on the front, a little bit on the spine, and on the rear. And the pages are somewhat dry, but still hardy enough to flip through. Dirk Pitt's Most Thrilling Adventure. Publication date on this Cyclops is here we go. 1986. Publication date 1986. Clive Cussler, Cyclops. A wealthy American financier disappears on a treasure hunt in an antique blimp. From Cuban waters, the blimp drifts towards Florida with a crew of dead men, Soviet cosmonauts. Dirk Pitt discovers a shocking scheme. A covert group of U.S. industrialists has put a colony on the moon, a secret base they will defend at any cost. Threatened in space, the Russians are about to strike a savage blow in Cuba, and only Dirk Pitt can stop them. From a Cuban torture chamber to the cold ocean depths, Pitt is racing to defuse an international conspiracy that threatens to shatter the Earth. So that is Cyclops from the thriller and suspense, or mystery and suspense. I've got a Michael Crichton. Is it Crichton? Crichton? Or Crichton? Michael Crichton timeline. Michael Crichton timeline. Little bit of wear on the front and partial damage on the rear, where there would be the bibliography and in the final pages. The final pages of the story are intact, but the rear part, bibliography, part of that is missing with the cover. The publication date on this one is $19.99. $19.99. So I won't be able to give the synopsis of this because there's so much of it on the back. All I can see is Arizona desert. Man wanders in a daze. Something makes no sense. Within 24 hours, somebody's dead. His body swiftly is cremated by something associates halfway around the world. They're going to make a shocking discovery. Suddenly, they're swept off to someplace. Multinational corporation, astounding technology, something about history and fighting for their life. So I'm sorry I couldn't give you a little bit more on there, but most of the synopsis is missing. So that is Michael Crichton Timeline. Michael Crichton Timeline. From what I can see, this is a mystery book, so that will go into mystery and suspense. Now this is a classic. This is Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged. I think I've got two of these. Yeah, different published dates. But I've got two Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. This is a newer one, published in 1992. Well, originally 1957, but this particular print is 1992. So this is Ayn Rand. This is a classic student edition. The astounding story of a man who said that he would stop the motor of the world, and he did. Tremendous in scope. Breathtaking in its suspense, Atlas Shrugged is unlike any other book you have ever read. It is a mystery story, not about the murder of a man's body, but about the murder and rebirth of a man's spirit. With this acclaimed work and its immortal query, who is John Galt, Ayn Rand found the perfect artistic form to express her vision of existence. This is the book that has made her not only one of the most popular novelists of modern times, but also one of its most influential and controversial thinkers. This anniversary edition of Atlas Shrugged, celebrating the enduring legacy of its author, features an introduction by Rand's literary executor, Leonard Peikoff, and a reader's guide to her writings and philosophy. This volume will be eagerly welcomed by all admirers of what Dr. Peikoff calls Ayn Rand's masterwork. So this is the 1992 print, and that is what the cover looks like. Student edition. And this is the older publication. Could be one of the first prints, I don't know. That's what that one looks like. And this is what the rear looks like on this one. That's the newer edition. This is the older edition. This one has the author's it's not a photograph, it's like a sketch of her. Portrait of Ayn Rand by Mona. And let me get you the publication date of this one here. And this one is nice and hardy, but there is some wear and tear on the inside pages, just a little bit. And it looks like there's some repair done to the cover too. This one has been reattached by some cellophane. And by that I mean Scotch tape. There is a difference, but I'm just using them interchangeably. I say this is hardy, but the first couple pages seem a little bit delicate. I'm trying to get through without tearing the pages. I'd rather somebody not buy it because they're fully aware than buy it and be, surprised. Okay, this is the 1957 edition. So this is the 1957 edition of Atlas Shrugged. And this is the 1999? 1957 and 1992. So I've got two Atlas Shrugs by Ayn Rand. I will put that one here in mystery and suspense, even though it's more of I guess it is mystery and suspense. All right, what else can I get to here? So we can keep it I want to keep it as much variety as possible. Here's another reference book. Okay. Everything Written Well book. Any writers out there? I should probably keep this one for myself because I'm trying to write a book this year. Everything Written Well, Writing Well book. This is by Pamela Rice Hahn. If you are a budding or aspiring author and want a little bit of assistance or reference, this is the Everything Writing Well book. Have you ever written a letter, prepared a company memo, or fired off a short email only to realize that the message you sent wasn't received the way you intended it? Just because you know the basic rules of written language doesn't mean you're done learning. Not by a long shot. The Everything Writing Well book, written by publishing professional Pamela Rice Hahn, helps you transform your writing for virtually any situation, formal or informal. The author guides you through all aspects of polishing your skills, choosing the appropriate tone, building document structure, and communicating a clear and concise message. So this will help you with social writing, like Get Well Notes, electronic writing, such as emails and faxes. It's a layperson's journalism, such as letters to the editor, copyright matters for research topics, essays, including personal and biographical, academic papers, such as theses and dissertations, and business writing, such as job offers, corporate memos, and press releases. So this is a reference book for the writer, someone who needs to do some writing. This publication is from 2003. I will put this over here by reference. I got these books behind me that I kind of don't want to go to because they're just so odd, but not really. But I'm going to go through them just so you can see. I am a collector of books, and I do like I like all things vintage. This is a throwback. This is really for children, but if you are a collector, you may be interested. This is from The Magic of Words, 1975, Childcraft Annual. Did anybody coming up during this time period ever get a child craft annual? It's sort of like an encyclopedia for children, and each year there were like different themes. Like I said, this one is 1975, and this one is talking about the magic of words. This is a hardback book, and without really going through it, I can't really give you an example, but this is the condition that it is in. Childcraft Annual. Without spending too much time on it, I would just say if you're interested in it, do a web search on it. But this is the magic of words, a Childcraft Annual. I think I've got 2 or 3 of these. I got a finger up from Destiny Forever Walks. Does that mean you remember these? Or you're interested, or you just heard of it? I've got this one, and I feel like I have 2 or 3. One is about the magic of words. The other one I think is math related. Let's see. This one is from 1978. That's my birth year. This is 1978. This is the Childcraft Annual, and it is on mathematics. So for someone who is interested in either collecting it, completing their collection, or maybe they just want something for nostalgic reasons, this is Childcraft Annual. These are both in really good condition. You can see from the spine, from the pages, covers, front and back. That one is for words. This one is for math. And the back side, very solid. Let me show you that was the word one. This one is on math. Oh, the Fibonacci sequence. That's interesting. The diagram above shows how the bumps on the head of a giant sunflower form 34 spirals to the left and 55 spirals to the right. The numbers 34 and 55 are next to one another in the Fibonacci sequence. So, math reference aimed at children. Have you thought about going to Kindle to sell? No, I have not. I've heard of people going either from eBay to Amazon, which I don't know. I just never kind of got into Amazon, but not to Kindle. No, I have not. Or in what reference do you mean going to Kindle? So I've got those 2 child crafts. I will be waiting for your answer. I've got those there. Let's see what else I've got. I've got Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, edited by George Gibeon. That book resonated with me in my years of being an educator of young children. See, I don't remember reading those particular books, but they seem familiar. Like I had a lot of books growing up. My grandmother was a substitute teacher, and so I feel like I've been exposed to that, but or maybe it's just the style of photography. Like I just remember certain things. You know what I mean? There's the dress and even the font style. You can tell some things are just from a certain era. Crime and Punishment. That is a classic. I don't think I'm gonna go over too many of these synopses, but that is Crime and Punishment, and this edition is. And let me show you the quality here. Really good cover, good spine. This publication is 1989. Originally 1964, it says here, but 1989 is the copyright. So that is Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. And it is a paperback. So I'm going to put this with the classics. I'm going to put this over here by Edgar Allan Poe. I got another Dune Messiah. And this is another older one. The cover's okay. The spine is fair. The back is good. A little bit of time, age. I mean, I can flip through it pretty well without any issues. but it's just not as hardy as the other ones. Where like I'd be careful turning the pages. This is 1969. 1969 Dune, Messiah by Frank Herbert. That is kind of going into the sci-fi pile. I've got a Tolkien here, and it is in, I would say, poor condition. The actual book is readable, but the cover and the rear cover are in very bad condition. This is J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings Part 1, 50th anniversary edition. 50th anniversary edition. Not good cover at all. It is hanging on by cellophane tape. So this something like this would probably go on a 99 cents auction. The publication, see, I'd even be like really careful with the first couple pages. Once you get into it, it's okay, but the first couple pages are quite delicate. I think from what I can see, it says 1973 on here. Got the map in the front. Got the map of the land. And let's see. I thought I saw 1973 somewhere. Okay, so originally 1955 and then renewed 1982. This is the 1973 copy. 1973 copy of Lord of Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring. And like I said, the front and back covers are in poor condition, but the story portion is in good condition or fair condition. That goes over here with sci-fi and fantasy. Let me see. That book, okay, I read that part. I meant switching from paper to Kindle. Have I personally thought about it? I have a small selection of books on my tablet and my phone that I download just to have something to read when I'm out and about, like if I'm waiting somewhere. But I personally prefer paper. I like the feel of it. I like the smell of old books. Like I like the smell of books. I like the smell of the paper. I like the feel of it. And for me, like I don't have to worry about my Kindle losing battery or having to charge it or being out. Sometimes if you're out in certain sunlight, you can't read the screen. So they're okay sometimes, but for me personally, switching over completely, I like my books. I like my books. I don't I see something am I buffering? Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, I have not purchased books for myself for personal use in a while. I kind of trained myself to not purchase as many because I go crazy buying books. I kind of switched over to like a minimalist approach where I would prefer to borrow books than to buy them, but I still prefer to have books in my hand. So yeah. Have I thought about going to Kindle? Yeah, I've got books on Kindle. Yeah, I got a Kindle account that I use on my tablet and my phone. But I like books. I don't know, books are my friends. But yeah, you don't get wear and tear on the Kindle, right? I mean, on the device, but not on the book. This is Pool of Radiance. Pool of Radiance. Looks like another sci-fi one. Myths, the Rules, the Ruins of Myth Draenor. The Ruins of Myth, man, I can't say that. Ruins of Myth Draenor. A Dracolic and his sorceress queen have seized control of the Mythal, the ancient magic that once protected the war-ravaged Elven capital. Once the Elven ruin is completely in their thrall, the cult intends to expand its domination one city and one soul at a time. Wear and tear on the front, decent spine, okay on the back. Somewhat good. Published date 2001. Really? I would have thought that this would have been in better condition for a 2001 publication. but the previous owner probably didn't have it stored in like the right type of environment. How you store your books makes a huge difference in how long they last. Okay, I think all of these are also children's. We got Catch 22 by Joseph Heller. Catch 22 by Joseph Heller. And this is 1955 publication. Hardcover. I feel like I know this story, but there is no synopsis on the back. Catch 22 is about an Air Force bombardier named Yossarian who wants the bombing to stop. Catch 22 is about his fellow flyboys, U.S. generals, American nurses, Roman prostitutes, and other participants in military madness and civilian insanity. Catch 22 is wildly original, brutally gruesome, a dazzling performance, vulgarly, bitterly, savagely funny, unforgettable. Here is the war novel to end all war novels and all wars. Here is one of the most important works of our generation, an intensely moving, compulsively readable, contemporary classic. That is Catch 22 by Joseph Heller. I had to cancel all my book club accounts. I'm totally Kindle now. Really? Alex Express in the house. I'm driving and listening. Hey, brother Alex, let me know if something piques your interest while you're listening. I appreciate you being here, Alex. Thank you so much. Yeah, today is book night. You came in the other day. I was doing the kids' books and games, not books and games, puzzles and games and whatnot. And for anybody who has come in the last, I don't know, 20 minutes, today I am giving you guys a sneak peek preview of the items I will be listing on my eBay store. You know what? I just realized I got the wrong banner up. I got my Bible reading banner up. Nobody told me that. This is my Bible reading banner. It is now disappearing. And I am putting my eBay banner up. Bam. It's a little bit off, but there we go. Oh my goodness, this whole time I've had the wrong thing up there. So yes, I do sell on eBay. This name above here, it says my eBay username is MLK Goodies. MLK Goodies. The link to my store is in my channel banner. It is also in my previous days, the last two previous days live stream where I was talking about my eBay stuff, and I'm going to put it in the chat at the end here. So yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I did not have my correct banner up there, but this is my eBay store name, MLK Goodies, and that's where you will find these books. Catch 22, Joseph Heller. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. How about some funny stuff? I got Crazy Laws, something funny. We all need a laugh right about now. We need something upbeat, happy, funny, something to put a smile on your face. I've got Crazy Laws by Dick Hyman and More Crazy Laws by Dick Hyman. So that's these two here. Some little funny puns, funny jokes, but actually these are real laws. So did you know what it says here on the back? It is against the law not to read this book. Well, there could be such a law. Take a look at those now or once on the books. Did you realize, for instance, that it's against the law to bite your landlord in Rumford, Maine? Did you know it's against the law to make faces at dogs in Normal, Illinois? Did you know that it is against the law to gargle in public in Louisiana, or to eat snakes on Sunday in Kansas, or to drive more than 2,000 sheep down Hollywood Boulevard at one time, or to pawn your wooden leg in Delaware? These and many more are all in this funny collection of crazy laws enacted over the years in cities and states coast to coast. And this is an illustrated book. Let's see, there's supposed to be illustrations in here. Yeah, there's some illustrations in here. It's funny, but it actually, they say this is real stuff. Real stuff. The Bible is the number one book. Amen, Brother Alex. It is for me. But I don't have any Bibles for sale. Actually, I take that back. I think in one of these tubs I've got the Book of Mormon, I've got a Quran, and I got some biblical literature, but all my other Bibles I keep for myself. This one is copyright 1976. So something funny, crazy laws. Crazy laws. And here's the follow-up book that I will probably bundle these together on eBay. This one is More Crazy Laws. It's against the law to send mice through the mail. Why would you do that? Like, why? It's against the law to send mice through the mail. Crazy? Unbelievable? No, it's the law. Did you know it's also against the law to hitch a crocodile to a fire hydrant in Michigan? Mom, Dad, please don't hitch a ride to your nearest fire hydrant on a crocodile. That's my home state. That's why I said that. It is illegal to fall asleep under a hair dryer in Florida. Also to raise chickens in bottles in New Jersey, or to paint a horse in Vermont. So yeah, that is that one there. More Crazy Laws. And this publication date is 1992. Crazy Laws. I'm going to put this into humor. I think I've only got one other book that's humorous, and it's Ziggy. Who remembers Ziggy? Y'all remember Ziggy from the comic strip in the comic strip and in the newspaper? I got Ziggy's ship comes in. See, this is the kind of stuff I was raised on. Like I said, I'm a 70s baby, 80s kid, 90s teen. Let's see. This is the cover. The spine has just a little bit of wear right here on the side, but the back is in good condition. And let me tell you the publication date. This is Ziggy. This is copyright 1983. Ziggy, 1983. Ziggy's ship finally comes in and it says, I knew someday my ship would come in. That's what it says on the front. And it's just little comic strip pieces in there. Something fun, something light, something nice, something positive, trying to push the positive. Machiavelli, the Prince. I got some more classics here. I got Machiavelli, the Prince, and I've got Hard Times. Woo, Hard Times by Charles Dickens. So let's talk about Machiavelli. This is one of my older books. Pretty decent spine. Nice cover. Somewhat hardy, but the pages are a little bit dry. So I would be careful when I'm, first opening it up. Publication date on this is it was published in 1952. It says here the copyright 1952, but this particular one is from 1980. 1980. The present revised translation was first published in 1935. This is the 1980 version though. Machiavelli. This is as Machiavelli saw it. Make sure you guys can see that pretty good. It says here conspiracy. A prince need trouble little about conspiracies when the people are well disposed, but when they are hostile and hold him in hatred, then he must fear everything and everybody. Now we're going to talk about merit. A prince must show himself a lover of merit, give preferment to the able, and honor those who excel in every art. Then it talks about goodness. A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to grief among so many who are not good. Therefore, it is necessary to learn how not to be good, and to use this knowledge and not use it, according to the necessity of the case. Talks about first impressions. The first impression that one gets of a ruler and of his brains is from seeing the men he has about him. In other words, birds of a feather flock together. It also talks about flattery. There is no other way of guarding oneself against flattery than by letting men understand that they will not offend you by speaking the truth. But when everyone can tell you the truth, you lose their respect. And finally, here it talks about fortune. I certainly think that it is better to be impetuous than cautious, for fortune is a woman, and it is necessary to conquer her by force. And that is the world according to Machiavelli. That is the world according to Machiavelli. I will put this over here by the classics. We got Hard Times by Charles Dickens. I got about 45 minutes on here, guys, and then I'm going to wrap it up for today's book collection. After this, I'm going to see if I can get a few other ones because I do see that the internet is really straining to keep me on. I don't want it to be too choppy for you guys because I want you guys to be able to hear the titles and hear what I'm saying about the books without it being too much. If I can, if I've got time, I might go on tomorrow morning right after my Bible reading because I noticed that early in the morning is when I have the best reception. Hard Times by Charles Dickens. This is the 1981 publication. 1981 publication. That is Hard Times by Charles Dickens. One second, I'm gonna get up and see if I can get some other books. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize I was in the dark. Oh wow. All right. Oh, I did want to go through these health books here. Let me see. Try to give you guys some more health related books because a lot of people are at home right now and a lot more people are cooking rather than, eating on the go. And so I'm going to try to focus on some of these health related books as much as I can. All right. All right. If you are coming in new, welcome, welcome. My name is Kenya. This is my channel where I do talk about business, entrepreneurship, mental health, and wellness, and I talk about positivity and motivational items. While we are sheltering in, most of us, not all of us, but while we are sheltering in, I am doing my best to bring you some options to stay occupied and to have some fun at home. The last 2 days, I did a live stream where I was showcasing some of my board games, puzzles, and toys. In case you are not able to get out and shop or don't feel comfortable getting out and shopping, these items are available or will be available on my eBay store as soon as I have the opportunity to list them. Tonight and tomorrow, I will be showcasing the books. So, for all of you lovers of books out there, for people who enjoy reading, who have not had time to read, but now you have nothing but time, I'm giving you a sneak preview, a sneak peek of the items that I will be listing on my eBay store. This is my eBay name right up here in this banner. In the white banner that's going by MLK Goodies is the name of my eBay store. So that is where you will be able to look for them. The link is in yesterday's, the description section of yesterday's live stream. The link is also in the previous day's live stream. And I will be putting that link to my store at the end of this chat, which will be ending in about 30 more minutes. So that's just a little bit of anybody who's just coming in. For example, Adenilza Araujo. Adenilza Araujo. Adenilza Araujo. Boa noite. Hola. Hola. I know you don't speak Spanish, but that's the only language that I can speak closest to what you are speaking, unless you speak English. Esta noche estoy mostrando mis libros que está en venta. Tengo una tienda de eBay en cual yo vendo mis cosas, cosas como juguetes y juegos y también libros. Y esta noche es usted, o sea, você, tiene la oportunidad de ver los libros primero, antes de lo demás. Entonces, bienvenido a mi live stream y dígame si ves algo que a usted le gusta. I hope you understand at least half of that because, like I said, I don't speak Portuguese, but I'll learn it one day. I do like languages. So tonight we are focusing on some books. For those of you who are cooking at home more and more, we got Simply Delicious Recipes. Anybody who is keeping an eye on their blood sugar, we've got Simply Delicious Recipes for diabetics. I don't think I need to. Ooh, man, that light. There we go. There we go. How about if I bend it? I had to find my way around it. Okay, we got Simply Delicious Recipes for Diabetics. That's that one here. That goes over here in the health aisle, or the health pile. Dr. Atkins, New Diet Revolution. Dr. Atkins, New Diet Revolution. South Beach Diet. We got the South Beach Diet by Arthur Agatston, Dr. Arthur Agatston. So there is the South Beach Diet there. Optimum Health, a natural life-saving prescription for your body and mind. Optimal Health for a natural life-saving prescription for your body and mind. This is by Dr. Stephen Sinatra. Stephen T. Sinatra. I'll read a little bit of this on the back. It says, in this groundbreaking book, Dr. Stephen Sinatra shows us how we can take control of our health through the latest findings of mind-body medicine. As a leading cardiologist and psychotherapist, Dr. Sinatra is a uniquely qualified expert in the field. Dr. Sinatra's well-balanced, totally natural program of nutritional, emotional, and physical strategies can dramatically improve the quality of your life and help you live longer. It's got the insulin resistance epidemic and the great fat debate on page 22, the myth, fact, and fiction of cholesterol on page 43, the heart healing secrets of the Mediterranean diet on page 64. Let's see. The miracle vitamin for heart health on page 110, natural approach to healing arthritis on page 211, Dr. Sinatra's natural cholesterol lowering formula on page 208, something on preventative medicine on page 215, and anti-aging prescription on 247. And so that is a quick little breakdown that they've got going on there on the back. That goes into the health and cooking. The Schwarzbein principle. I've never heard of this before. The Schwarzbein principle. Like thousands of people nationwide, you can maximize your metabolism and achieve lasting weight loss with the Schwarzbein principle. Through real-life success stories, the Schwarzbein principle reveals how excess weight, accelerated aging, and degenerative disease can be controlled and reversed. You'll also learn why eating a low-fat diet can make you fat. You can eat as much as you want without worrying about gaining weight. You can replace body fat with lean muscle without spending hours at the gym every day. You can still have a heart attack even if your cholesterol is low. And eating cholesterol can actually help prevent heart disease. What do y'all think about that? I mean, for real, what do you think about that? The Schwarzbein principle. The truth about losing weight, being healthy, and feeling younger. Personally, all that sounded like a bunch of hooey. But I stand corrected if I'm wrong. I have not read this book. I'm only reading the synopsis to you, but everything that I just read sounds contrary. You ready to eat? Well, the beans are in there. Go ahead and eat. Did you take the cornbread out? I will be done in about 20 minutes because I'm only going 2 hours, and then we can eat together. You can start without me. Oh, she wants to wait and eat dinner with me. So that's the Schwarzbein principle. Let's go through some of these other health books. The Age-Free Zone. The Age-Free Zone. I'm going to try to get through as much of these as possible, so I'm not going to do the synopsis on all of them just for time's sake. The Age-Free Zone by Barry Sears, PhD. Barry Sears, PhD. And that's what that cover looks like. This is another cookbook. The Cake Doctor. I need to send this to my sister. My sister is like a pastry chef, beginner pastry chef. This is The Cake Doctor by Anne Byrne. Anne Byrne. Doctor's cake mix to create over 150 luscious desserts with honest to goodness from scratch taste. So not everybody cooks from scratch, but if you got a box cake, this says that it will help you be the cake mix doctor. So you can doctor it up, add a little bit of this, add a little bit of that, and your stuff will taste like it's homemade. So that's that one. Andrew and Muriel's Healthy Happy Holidays Cookbook are perfect recipes for healthier holidays. He looks familiar. I feel like I've seen this guy on YouTube before. Have you guys seen this guy? This is Andrew and Muriel's Healthy Happy Holidays Cookbook. By Muriel Angett with Andrew Lessman. I'm not sure why, but I have a I got a manual for a new wave infrared oven in case anybody has one, lost one, needs one. I guess this shows the recipes, different recipes for your new wave oven. Pro Plus New Wave Infrared Oven. If you've got something that looks like this, this is the recipe book that goes with it. The Natural Approach to ADD. Help for Children with Attention Deficit Disorder and Hyperactivity by Nina Anderson and Howard Piper. This is more like a little booklet than a book. I will put this with reference. I'll put that over there with reference. Mythology. Anybody into mythology? I've got a mythology book here. This is more like a kid's book. I think I'm gonna put this in the kids section, just because I've seen that book in the kids section at the library. This is a life book publication, well, Life magazine publication. It's talking about tropical Africa. So for the person who was looking for Black history, I don't have anything with me on American Black history, but if you are interested in something dealing with African roots or the Black diaspora in general, I've got this tropical Africa book publication by the Life. Remember, Time Life? I don't know if they publish books anymore, but that's what this one looks like. It is a hardcover book. Spine is good. And just a second, I will tell you when this was published. It's got a map here in the front of the continent of Africa. See if it's got one in the back. Yes, it's got a map on the inside cover and back cover of the continent of Africa. And it looks like it's somewhat like a, what do you call that? What was that one class in elementary school? Social studies. It's like a social studies book. So it's not history, but it's more like a social studies book. This was published in 1962. The cover shows mounted guards carrying swords and flagstaffs parade during a ceremonies marking the independence of the Federation of Nigeria in 1960. Wow, I didn't realize Nigeria was that young. I did not realize that Nigeria was that young. So this is Life magazine had a publication of books. There are photographs in here. Most of them are black and white. Oof. Most of them are black and white, and it's more like a social studies book telling about the different countries and on the continent of Africa, or at least tropical Africa. So that will go in my reference pile. Oh, let's see, what else can I get? I think I need to start making a walkway because it's getting difficult for me to walk. So the last 20 minutes or so, I'm just going to go through whatever I have close to me. Do I have a P.O. box? I do. I do have a business address. I believe it's on my About Me page. I used to have it in the description of a lot of my videos, but I have updated a lot of my videos and taken a lot of that extra stuff out so that it could just focus on the description of the videos. But it should be in my About Me page. I think I might I think I think I might be off one digit. I think I might be off one digit on that zip code for my business mailbox. It might be 001, but that for the most part that is my business email address. Yeah, I think I'm off, but let me get back with you on that one. Street sketchbook. Street sketchbook. A lot of this stuff is wrapped up just because I have a lot of my stuff wrapped up for my eBay sale, so I can just grab it and go. I don't know why. This one is in plastic though. For the artist, I'm gonna go through the next couple of art books. Street sketchbook. This has a lot of graffiti type of art stuff in it for people who like to either study arts or just like looking at picture books. This is a good coffee table book. Street Sketchbook by Journeys. Hardcover book. Some wear and tear on the spine, but otherwise in good condition, fair condition. These I am selling as a bundle. There are 3 different books in here. The first one is How to Draw Lifelike Portraits from Photographs. There's another one in here on different exercises that you can do if you are an artist. It is called 200 Projects to Strengthen Your Art Skills. So, lifelike portraits, 200 projects to strengthen your art skills. And then there's a calligraphy book in here. So this is a 3-book bundle that I have for the artist. Unless somebody finds this on my eBay store and they say, oh, I only want one, I am selling it as a bundle just because a lot of artists are multidisciplinary. And yeah, that's why I've got those bundled like that. But yes, you can learn how to draw lifelike photographs. Ooh, the Home Carpenter and Woodworkers Repair Manual. Home Carpenter and Woodworkers Repair Manual. This is a sterling publication by William Spence. Pretty self-explanatory. The all-in-one color how-to guide that no homeowner can afford to be without. This is pretty solid. And the cover and pages are in good condition. That goes over there in my reference. This is more like a collector's book. Let me see if I can get this out of the. Let me see if I can get this one out of the paper. This is on sporting guns. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is in plastic because, like I said, it's easier for me to kind of throw it into a envelope, knowing that it's already prepackaged. I don't know how many people collect guns, older guns, anyways, but this particular one is on sporting guns. See, a lot of my books I do wrap in like tissue paper. It looks more presentable, and it also helps keep it like dust free and whatnot. Sporting Guns by Richard Akehurst. Sporting Guns. So this is like for the gun collector. This is for the gun collector. This is the dust cover. It's a hardcover book. This is the dust cover. This is just another photograph of some of the collectible guns. 135 illustrations in color and black and white. The richly illustrated book by, let me see if I can show you the cover while I'm reading. This richly illustrated book by Richard Akehurst traces the development of sporting guns and fowling related to contemporary history from the 16th century up to the present day. The author describes the various types of muzzle-loading guns and rifles created to meet the sportsman's needs, the shooting quality of these guns, and gives lively accounts of famous gun makers including James Purdy, Joseph Manton, Charles Lancaster, and sportsmen with a historic past. The inventions and developments on the continent, such as the wheel-lock rifle, the snap-ounce, flintlock, the micklet, the jogger rifle, the Lefaucheux gun, and subsequent breech loaders, and developments in America, such as the Kentucky rifle, the repeating guns and rifles are discussed, and special emphasis is given to design, decoration, tools, and equipment. The artistic lines and fineness of finish and decoration characteristic of great craftsmanship are visible on many of the guns illustrated, particularly the Damascus and steel barrels. So it is pretty much a picture book, but there is historical detail on the sporting guns included. That goes into reference. I'm pre-diabetic. I would like to send you a check for that diabetic recipe book to cover the shipping and the cost of the book, whatever it is. No eBay. Okay. It is right here. I believe this is the one you were talking about, so I will set this aside for you, Mr. Smart. I will put this aside for you. Right over here. So I know to send that one out. And my email address is also in my About Me page. So we can also correspond that way. I do have a Facebook fan page, so you can reach me through there, through one of the comments here. But for more private conversation, you can send me an email. My email is Kenya at 40entp.com. Kenya at 40entp.com. Oops. Good grief. I hit the button too soon. entp.com. That is my email address that goes with this YouTube channel. All right. Let me see if I can get through the rest of these books right here so I can walk safely. Walk safely away. It's like a real trip hazard, people. All right. That is for children. This one is for, that is not, I'll save that for tomorrow. This might be a fun one. That is for children. That is for children. Let's see. This might be kind of fun. This is for children. I knew I had a third one. I knew I had a third one. This is the third book that I've got from the series, the Childcraft Annual. I knew I had another one. This one is from 1973. Childcraft 1973. And this one is called About Us. So this is more like a social studies type one, or what's another word to use? Anthropology type of book for children. We've got the different cultures and ethnic groups there on the front. This is from 1973. Lots of pictures and illustrations. And it's just a nice reference book for young and old alike. That one is also Childcraft. The Medicine Book, 5th edition, Consumers Union's Practical Guide to Some Everyday Health Problems and Health Products. So speaking of more health-related items, this is an older book, but sometimes, I mean, there's different discoveries in medicine all the time, but some things are pretty much good through all time. So even though this is an older book, it still may be helpful. This is published in 1983, although the original copyright was from 1955. This is The Medicine Show. The Medicine Show. I'll show you up close. Consumer Union's Practical Guide to Some Everyday Health Problems and Health Products. I'll email you. Okay. So it's talking about aspirin and its competitors, colds and coughs, sore throats, care of your teeth and gums, the mouth odor fallacy, tired eyes and eye washes, indigestion and antacids, constipation and diarrhea, hemorrhoids and other anal disorders, acne, dandruff and shampoos, banishing body odor, products for sun worshippers, wounds and burns, stings and bites, treating poison ivy, hay fever, poison emergencies, women and iron, menstrual tampons and pads, genital deodorants for women, pregnancy test kits, drugs in pregnancy, estrogen replacement therapy, insomnia and anxiety, buying prescription drugs, the other side of antibiotics, evaluating news about miracles, and the medicine cabinet. So this may or may not be dated information. Again, this was originally published in 1955, but the current copy, this came out, was 1983. So this was last published in 1983. That is The Medicine Show, 5th edition. That is going into the reference pile. I have another language book here. This is from, I don't know, like 1980 something. I guess I could open this one up too. Spanish Made Simple, for anybody who's wanting to learn Spanish. I can always repackage these. It's okay. So I've got I have one French language book, textbook. I've got one Spanish language textbook. Even though it is dated, Spanish, the basics of Spanish are pretty much the same. And it is a self-study book, good condition. Just for reference, I think this is more like Spain Spanish. There is a difference between different Spanish spoken in different countries. I think this is from Spain Spanish, and this copyright is 1955. 1955, Spanish Made Simple. So that goes over here with this language area. All right, I've got about 15 more minutes to share with you guys, and then I'm off, and then I'll be back tomorrow. I do so much appreciate your time being here with me. These are all for children, so this goes over here. And if you know any other book lovers, let them know. I do have books for sale. Depending on what you're interested in, I can try to dig those up so I can bring those to the forefront first and have those ready. This is a throwback. This is a throwback. This is a Betty Crocker, Parties for Children. This does have recipes, but it also has like party favors, games that you can play. This could be quite nostalgic. This is Betty Crocker's Parties for Children. It is a hardback book, but it is a binder style book. Can you put the writer's guidebook aside also? That is in the reference section. You are talking about this one, correct? Everything Writing Well book. I will put this to the side right now. Betty Crocker's Parties for Children. And this is definitely old school. I feel like I've seen this book too, maybe in my grandma's house. Look at the drawings. Like I said, some things you can just tell by the way it's drawn. It's like it just has a certain look to it. It just has a certain look to it. It makes me smile. I love older books. Okay, the copyright of this is 1964. Betty Crocker is a trade name of General Mills. I never knew that. Let me show you as much as I can here. So we've got things like games for the youngest, guessing games, games of skill, relay races, menus and recipes, creative fun, miscellaneous games, games for older children. If you're trying to create a theme for your party, how to make invitations, how to do decorations, how about prizes? What do you do about prizes? What about refreshments? What do we do at a party? What game should we play? And this is mostly illustrated. Yeah, I think this is completely illustrated. And it's got different, themes, beach party, party train, skating mittens, Easter basket, spring flowers, Indian teepee. This is definitely a throwback. So this is the Betty Crocker Parties for Children. Food, fun, and games. That's what it says on the front. This is interesting. I've been wanting to read this one. I think I'm going to read this first because I have cats and I love them. How to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you. What? How to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you with a pull-out poster. Wow, okay. This is your cat's war face. Matt is the first native stand-up comic of the internet. This book, okay, so this is like a funny book. This is not real. I mean, it's not a nonfiction book. It's kind of like a comic, a little humor book. Matt is the first native stand-up comic of the internet. This book and all its work shows just how perfectly he nails the pulse of web dwellers like me. While this book is printed on paper, it oozes what's great about the weird, quirky, and genuine awesomeness of the web and Matt Inman. If you too suffer from constant kitty love malls, then this book is for you. It also makes a handy shield in a pinch. How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You is a hilarious, brilliant offering of cat comics, facts, and instructional guides from the creative wonderland at theoatmeal.com. Fan favorites such as Cat vs. Internet, How to Pet a Kitty, and the Bobcats, plus a crapton of new never-before-seen comics, such as How to Tell If Your Cat is a Raging Homosexual, and 6 Ways to Tell If Your Cat Thinks It's a Mountain Lion, are presented in this must-have collection. This book also concludes a pull-out poster of how to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you. So yes, this is a humorous book somehow, some way. I don't see okay, here we go. The poster's in the back. I don't want to pull it out all the way. But it is illustrated pretty much all the way through with some comical stuff. Cats love quiet, peaceful moments. Good for letting out a toot and contemplating life. I didn't even know cats pass gas. I honestly didn't. I own dogs. Let me put this over here with the humor. I had dogs for a while, and yes, dogs do pass gas. Ooh wee. You can hear it, you can smell it, you can almost taste it. It's so gross. But I didn't know. I've never smelled my cats passing gas. This is an adult coloring book. I don't think I used this, and if I did, I used very little of it. but it's gonna go on eBay, so you can sell used stuff on eBay. Color yourself grateful. 100 messages of gratitude. So that is an adult coloring book. This one will go. I'll put it over here with humor, just because it's a feel-good kind of book. Childhood. What is this about? This is a parenting book. I didn't know I had a parenting book. It's simply called Childhood. Childhood. Thank you. You are welcome. Yeah, just from the look of it, there's some illustrations, there's some pictures. I thought I saw something about language and play, love separation and the sense of self, love's labors. I'm reading the headings at the top. The House of Tomorrow, Metamorphosis, Marbles and Morals, Vulnerability and Resilience, Language, Play, and Imagination. So this is a parenting book called Childhood. I'll put this over here by reference. Let's see, I've got 2 more cookbooks from Women's Circle. They're more like magazines, really. 2 cookbooks from Women's Circle. That will go over here by the cooking. And let me see if I can get a handful more books for the last 10 minutes to round things out. Ooh, goodness gracious. Everything is falling apart. I've got a tub that is unbalanced and everything is falling apart. Okay, I got them before everything fell out. So ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, with this last amount of books that I've got in my lap, I'm going to wrap it up. Oh, because there's no way I can list all of this tonight. Well, I could if I stayed up all night and didn't go to sleep, which I'm trying not to do lately. But yes, I grabbed the last of the health-related books just to kind of round things out. Skinny Soups. Woo. Here we go. Skinny Soups by Ruth Glick and Nancy Baggett. Over 100 low-fat. You know what? I think I want to keep this one for myself. I've been wanting to eat more soup. Unless somebody's interested, I'm going to put this one aside for myself. Skinny Soups. 100 low-fat, nutrition-wise, calorie-wise soups. I'm going to put this on top, but it's over here by the cooking books. 8-week menu planner based on 12 steps to whole foods. This is like a binder style book. 8-week menu planner. Is it photographs in here? There are no photographs in here. FYI, it's all menu based. And it is in good condition other than the cover. These have nothing to do with health. I don't know why I picked those up. Eating Alive, Prevention Through Good Digestion. Eating Alive, Prevention Through Good Digestion. It looks like the author is Dr. John Matson. What is an END? Nutritional doctor? I've never heard of that before. 140 recipes by Jean Marie Martin. Illustrations by Nelson Dewey. Why was I not sick and now I am? These are questions that patients often ask and often doctors don't answer. The reply is commonly to treat the patient as if they had a drug deficiency or an organ surplus. While drugs and surgery may deal with the results of the disease, they still don't answer why. Eating Alive will take you on an adventurous journey through the digestive system in search of the mysterious cause of disease. Hundreds of original cartoon illustrations will show you that disease is a result of inefficient digestion due to nutritional and or emotional stress. More importantly, there are simple tips which have helped hundreds of people reverse chronic disease that you can easily adopt. Also included is a three-stage menu plan and 140 recipes to help you achieve your health optimum and prevent disease. Eating alive can help your digestion, which will help you feel better, think clearer, and look great. So that is that publication here. Eating Alive, published in um, originally 1987, copyrighted 1987. This is the 1991 edition. Eating Alive. We got Weekend Grilling with the Barbecue Queens, or Weeknight Grilling with the Barbecue Queens, making meals fast and fabulous. This is the back here. Karen Adler and Judith Fertig are authors of the Barbecue Queen's Big Book of Barbecue. Making meals fast and fabulous. Are there any color? Nope, no color. No color photographs, but it's pure recipes here. So barbecuing recipe book. Casseroles. This probably would be a popular one right now because a lot of people are cooking in bulk, doing a lot of meal prep, and doing casseroles that they can freeze for later. So favorite recipes of home economics teachers. This is a dated one. This is a little bit dated, but sometimes good recipes, still good. Let me see. There are some photographs in here. They're black and white photographs, but just a few. This was published in 1982? 1982, I think. Yes, 1982. I have to guess because it's in Roman numerals. And I have not studied my Roman numerals in quite a while. So that's a recipe book on casseroles. Gas Grill Gourmet. So here's another grilling book. Gas Grill Gourmet by A. Court Signs. Great grilled food for everyday meals and fantastic feasts. That is another grilling book. Ooh, I'm running out of room in my little box. Green Smoothies Diet. Who's into smoothies? Green Smoothies Diet by Openshaw. Hold on. Yeah, Robin Openshaw. See if you can see that one like that. Green Smoothies Diet. I've got this light, like not in a good spot. I need it to be like not so bright. There we go. Green Smoothies Diet. Looking for a quick, flavorful, and nutritious way to stay youthful and healthy? The Green Smoothies Diet provides the perfect solution. Green smoothies are the best way to power up your body and supercharge your health in just minutes a day. Packing a tasty, nutrient-filled punch in every sip, these ultra-healthy smoothies pair leafy green vegetables with delicious antioxidant-rich fruits. Discover how green smoothies help you lose weight, detoxify the body, increase energy, fight heart disease, prevent diabetes and certain cancers, boost the immune system, make skin and hair beautiful. And this is a book published pretty recently because I just saw a reference to the movie WALL-E. 2009. This was published in 2009. It's a Green Smoothies Diet book, recipes book. Oh. Another Betty Crocker's book, Cooking with American Wine. Cooking with American Wine. That's funny that I should pick this up because I was actually craving onion soup, French onion soup, and I found a recipe on how to do it really easy since I stocked up on a lot of onions, and the recipe calls for white wine. So I picked up one of those tiny little boxes of wine, like just a little single serving one, and I want to cook with it. I want to see how my French soup will come out. Cooking with American wine. Oriental Cookbook, Better Homes and Gardens. Oriental Cookbook. This is a hardcover book. The last one was too. Oriental Cookbook. Illustrated cooking techniques show you great ways to make great recipes from China, Japan, and Korea. I might want to keep this one myself too, since I love Japan so much. We'll see. If nobody asks for it, I will put that one off to the side for myself. This is nothing to do with cooking. Nature crafts for kids. Nature crafts for kids. Lots of people sheltering in looking for crafts for their kids. If you head out to your backyard, you can get some nature items to craft with for your kids. Shows you a little better idea of what's going on here in the back. We got a kid making a telescope. We've got a little boy making some type of terrarium. We've got, I don't know what this little girl is doing with the leaves. Maybe some kind of artwork. And we've got a man doing something. Is he whittling? I think he might be whittling. Yeah, I think he's whittling. If you'd rather be outdoors than any place else, and if you like to bring home cones and leaves and rocks but never know what to do with them, then Nature Crafts for Kids is for you. Organized by season, more than 50 outdoor projects will show you how to learn by doing as well as by looking and reading. You'll dig for clay in a creek bank, make pinch pots, just as the Native Americans did 100 years ago, and build a sawdust kiln that really works. There's even an ant house and a worm farm. Candles sculpted in sand, a stained glass project made from autumn leaves, and a cement bird bath. And while you're doing each project, you'll discover fascinating facts about how nature works. Not only will you make a wind vane, but you'll discover what the wind does for our planet. Each project is photographed in color and includes clear step-by-step instructions. Almost all projects have either color photographs or carefully drawn drawings that show. So let's check this out. That looks like candle making. So this is a good crafts book for North Dakota is a naturopathy doctor. North Dakota. My mind just went ND. ND is a naturopathy doctor. I don't know why I said North Dakota, but okay, ND. So MD, medical doctor, ND, naturopathy doctor. I did not know that. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. That makes sense. That goes well with the book. That makes sense. So those are crafting for kids. I will put that over there by reference. Another like magazine. This might like go in a 99 cents type of auction thing. That is Light and Tasty Snacks and Desserts. And just because it's on my table and I need my table, this is the last of the items. I think I'm already over my time. The Book of Runes. Read the secrets in the language of the stones. The Book of Runes by Francis Melville. Discover the history of runes. See if you can see the cover. Discover the history of runes, the meaning of runic alphabet, and the power of the secret symbols they contain. Learn how to make your own rune stones and how to use them for divination. Harness the magic of runes. Make protective talismans, petition the help of the Norse gods, and perform runic blessings. I don't know how this came across in my collection, but it is in my collection, and if that is something you're interested in, it will be available on the eBay store. I'll put that over there by reference. I think from this point on, I've got a lot of new age types of books, spiritual types of books, and so this will all go together. It's Raining Frogs and Fishes, 4 Seasons of Natural Phenomenon and Oddities of the Sky. It's Raining Fishes. This is a perfect choice for adults and kids alike who want to discover more about how the world is put together, entertaining in fact fields by Jerry Dennis. It's Raining Frogs and Fishes. The Eight of Swords. I thought this was more New Age, but it is more like a. This is nonfiction. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords by David Skivens. A strange thing was happening to Warren Ritter. He certainly didn't believe in the terror, like tarot cards. He was a businessman setting up a folding table on Berkeley Street where a stream of passerby could bring him as much as $100 a day when the weather was right. But he was beginning to notice more and more that what he had learned to predict from his cards seemed to be coming to pass with an unsettling regularity. It made him do odd things, like stop teenager Heather Wellington's terror at 9 cards instead of 10. The first 8 had been ominous, the ninth more upbeat, so Warren simply stopped the reading there. It was only after Heather had left that he looked at number 10. It was the death card. The death card does not automatically doom the person whose terror it turns up, but it does mean that there are good things ahead. But it doesn't mean that good things are ahead either. So Warren the scoffer couldn't help feeling the horror later that day to see Heather's face on a pizza parlor TV screen with the word kidnapped slashed across the top. Guilt, that's what was gripping him, as though he could have done something to warn her but didn't. And then the synopsis goes on a little bit longer, but this is nonfiction with kind of like a spiritual new age kind of spin to it. Ordinary Miracles is coming up next. Ordinary Miracles. Well, maybe I want to do something that only I love. Maybe I want to have something that is just mine. Nobody else's, just mine. Matthew looked at me as if I'd gone completely crazy. Haven't you ever wanted to do that? I asked him. I have that already, he said. I have a twin. I got up and walked out of our room, then slamming the door behind me. Mark and Matthew Filkins are identical twins, but because Matthew was born first, Mark feels like his shadow. Mark hasn't minded much until now. Suddenly he's tired of being a twin, and one of the family's plans that both boys will be preachers. Then he meets Dr. Colin Hendrick, a Nobel Prize winning scientist who opens Mark's eyes to the world in new and exciting ways. Mark treasures their friendship despite Colin's controversial research, and even if Colin's ideas of God is like nothing Mark has ever known. Ask and it shall be given to you. That's what Mark has always believed. So when Colin reveals a terrible secret, Mark knows what to do. He organizes a prayer campaign to help his friend, putting his own faith on the line. That is very vague and somewhat enigmatic, but that is Ordinary Miracles by the author Stephanie Tolan. The Hero Within. Ooh, this looks real good. The 6 archetypes that we live by. The innocent, the orphan, the magician, the wanderer, the martyr, and the warrior. I think I've heard of this. This is the hero within. 6 archetypes that we live by. Oh, I missed a message. The ideology and methods of naturopathy are based on vitalism and folk medicine rather than evidence-based medicine. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like homeopathy? I'm wondering, is it similar to homeopathy, naturopathy? That's interesting. Oh, I totally missed another part. Naturopathy or naturopathic medicine is a form of alternative medicine that employs an array of pseudoscientific practices branded as natural, non-invasive, or promoting self-healing. So it is kind of like homeopathy. Yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that with me. I did not know that. The 6 archetypes. Oh, this is a psychology book. Y'all, I'm gonna put this on eBay after I read it because that piques my interest. I've heard of that. That really piques my interest. Moving on. I got one more book, and the rest of these I'm gonna put back in the box because I'm over my time. I was only gonna come on in here for 2 hours. You guys, I got enough books to do a 2 hour live stream every day for like the next week. That's how many books that I've got. To break it up into, small little chunks. That's how many books I've got. This is the last book for today. It is James Welch's Fool's Crow. Fool's Crow, a novel that in the sweep and inevitability of events, in the human persuasiveness and variety of its characters, in the scrupulous authenticity of its cultural reconstruction, and in the sheer flow and strength of its prose, is a major contribution to Native American literature. Wow, that was a mouthful. The year is 1870. Located in the Two Medicine Territory of the northwestern Montana, is the camp of Lone Eaters, a small band of Blackfeet Indians. Their life consists of a timeless round of activity, deeply rooted in the land and the seasons, and in a reverence for the customs handed down from the long ago people. But the ever increasing presence of the Napaquans, white men, threatens this existence. Fool's Crow, a young warrior and medicine man of great vision, has seen the future. He knows his tribe must either fight a brave but futile war or surrender their lands and their way of life. So I think that it might be based on true stories, but this is a fiction book, contemporary American fiction. That's what that looks like. Yes. Yeah, I'm way over time. My daughter has already called me to dinner. We're gonna have a nice, delicious dinner of beans and cornbread. And yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for tonight. Um, I just went through a fraction of my books. These are not my personal books. My personal books are put aside. These are books that I specifically have collected for the purpose of populating my eBay store and selling them. And so if you are interested in any of these, like I've got those two set aside, they will be on my eBay store. You can reach out to me. Let me grab that link for you guys. Oh wow, I've had like the most I had was 16 people in here. 15, 16. Wow. That's cool. Oh boy, I'm so behind. I'm so very behind on my listing. I used to try to list like 10 items a day, and then I just kind of fell off, and I've only got about 300 things on my eBay store, and now this is the perfect time for people to be shopping, and I need to be ready. I really do. All right, it should be eBay /USR /MLK goodies. And this link should take you directly to what I currently have, which everything that I just showed you guys is not available just because I haven't listed it yet. My daughter said, or my sister said, why don't you list them and then talk about them? I said, because it takes me like the time that it told me showed the time that it took me to show you guys this 2 hours worth of showing, I wouldn't have time to show them because I would still be listing. It takes longer to list them than to talk about them. So that's that. Destiny Forever Walks is similar. Okay. I'll look that up. I'm curious. I am curious. I want to know. What is the difference between homeopathy and naturopathy? My kids get on me all the time. Mom, do you have to know? Do you really want to know? I'm like, yeah, I really do want to know. The difference between the two is that naturopathy is a health system that utilizes many different treatments and modalities, which may even include homeopathy. And homeopathy is solely focused on the use of remedies. Ah, okay. So remedies and then self healing. I think I get it now. Homeopathy is often used in naturopathy. Okay. Homeopathy is often used in naturopathy. Homeopathic remedies are developed from natural substances. So, naturopathy, how to heal yourself. Homeopathy, how to use nature to heal yourself. I think I got it. I looked that up real quick. I'm the type of person I want to know. I like to know. I'm a curious person. And I'm curious to know if you guys enjoyed today's eBay sneak preview. If so, if you could do me a favor, I know you guys have spent so much time with me today, but I'm trying to learn as I'm learning more about how to be a better YouTuber. I hang out at this place called Pusa Studios. They're great people. They're like a game show type of promotion type place, but they also do great. You can learn a lot from them just learning about YouTube, learning about better channel making, things like that. And one thing that they always ask is, hey, you guys, if you get a chance after this live, come back and leave an on topic comment. I don't know what that does for your channel. I don't know what it does for your video, but I think it just gives it that extra boost to let YouTube know, hey, this person watched, they came back and they left their feedback. So if you guys get a chance, come back a little bit later. You can leave a comment on yesterday's live stream about one of the games and books and toys that I had, or you can come back today. I just want to see what that does. If not, that's okay. I just appreciate you being here right now. I forgot to hit the send button on there. But that link that is on here right now, that is my eBay store. That should take you directly to. If you are on a laptop or desktop device, you can go to my homepage, YouTube homepage, and in my banner, there's also the link off to the right. Other than that, I appreciate you guys being here. I'll be here tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be here early or late. This time works better for me. But as far as the internet, I think I'll get the best internet signal and strength early as possible. So we'll see. I'm gonna play it by ear. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you guys and for your interest. And also, if you can, share out this live stream so that people can still go back and they can scroll through and see the items. Maybe they find something they're interested in, and they will be the first one of the first people to know that I'm going to be back tomorrow doing the exact same thing. I'm going to be giving you guys a sneak peek preview of my books, which, like I said, I got 3 tubs next to me, and I could probably go through these 3 tubs tomorrow, and then I've got more books that I can pull out. So yeah, thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Be blessed. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, share, like, comment, subscribe. I think most of you are subscribed, but if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. You'll be notified when I do my next upload. You'll be notified when I go live, and hit the bell notification to make sure that you get notified of when I go live. And yes, I would really appreciate if you give me a thumbs up if you haven't already done so. Share it out with somebody who is genuinely interested. And yes, I'll see you guys next time. Entrepreneur 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Entrepreneur Drive 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Entrepreneur Drive 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Thanks for watching, share, like, and subscribe.